Okay, we are now recording. We are the Butterscotch Martini Girls, and we are here today to talk about worst jobs. We are authors, and we do this every week. It's just kind of a fun little thing we do to talk about segments of life that we think are funny. So, Tina, do you want to start us off?
Yes. I have my, sorry, Rocky is reaching out for me here. For everybody, this is our cat Rocky, and he's decided he wants to join the Blab today. So my first story is from when I was a project manager for technologies, and we did a lot of projects with India. And so we had business partners with India, and we actually had a lot of Indian people on our teams for a technologies team. And so we had this brand new BSA, fresh-faced BSA, and he really wasn't used to dealing with different cultures yet, so which is something you have to get used to, especially working for a big company in technologies. So he didn't understand the whole got to get used to the other cultures yet. And we're sitting at this big conference room table inside one of the conference rooms, and on the big video wall, we have our business partner, which is their big conference table, and most of them are Indians and most of them are Hindus, and they're mostly vegetarian, that kind of stuff. Well, and I'm not sure if any, some of our watchers know or not, but they consider cows sacred in their religion. So we had gotten pretty used to this. Anytime we would order food for, our team, we would make sure there was a vegetarian option and, all that kind of stuff. Well, halfway through our, discussion, because of course they're asking for requirements, and our programmers are like, oi, because a client always wants you to build like this Cadillac version for $5. Kayce knows this. She worked in this industry for a while. So,
yep.
This little fresh-faced BSA, she's taking notes and she's trying to be real diligent. And so the business partner on the other end of this video call is watching all of us. We're watching all of them. And he spouts off this list of stuff that he wants. And he's like, that should only take a week, right? You can just add that into the existing. And so she smacks her head and she's like, holy cow, what is he smoking? And I'm like, oh. And so, first of all, the holy cow, we're talking to people who believe that cows are sacred. That's not good. And second of all, you just said that out loud and he can hear you. Yes, it's a video call, but he can hear you. So what was funny was the several people, my programmers and that kind of stuff who are Indian in the conference room, they all went, oh. The cool thing was the guy, our main client on the other end, he gets real quiet for a second and then he starts laughing like this big belly laugh. He said that's the most hilarious thing he had ever seen and heard.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it was a fun, interesting breakthrough, learning how to be a BSA, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad he thought it was funny though, because I was like, oh, not a good start.
I think he had a sense of humor.
Yes.
You've got to be very careful in those telecons because you forget that everybody can hear you. And yes. I've been in telecons where you hear a flushing toilet.
Yes.
Dogs barking are the norm. But sometimes you just forget.
Yeah. You're just doing your normal thing and then you're like, oops.
Yeah.
Kayce, we're getting the mouth thing again. Have you rebooted?
Yeah. I think it's my computer. I can try to reboot if you guys want to go on without me.
Yeah, we can try it, and we'll still be here going on, and you catch up.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter because I went and looked at a couple other, and I was seeing that it was doing the same thing to them also.
But it's not necessarily just that.
I think it's doing it to me too.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, it's doing it to me too.
Okay. So, Danny, do you have story?
I don't have any stories that, any bad stories, because I never really worked in that many jobs. The only thing that was ever interesting when I went on a job interview was when I went in and I was talking with this broker that, I had just gotten my real estate license, and I was talking to her, and then after she, went through the whole spiel of what they could do and what would be expected, then she says, "You look really familiar." And I'm like, "Yeah, you look kind of familiar too." And so we started talking. She had been my neighbor like 20 years prior, and her son and my son, like in first grade, had been like best little friends and went and walked to school together and all kinds of stuff when they were little boys. And this was what was the weird part, is that she was the one, she lived in the haunted house, which was right around the corner.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so I said, "Oh, you lived in the haunted house?" And she said, "Oh my gosh, yes." And proceeded to tell me all the stories, which for another blog, that would get me way off track to tell you stories about this house, because it was really strange. So we can do that maybe another time. That was the only time I ever had a different experience, was to find out that, it was somebody that I had known so long ago, and that was about it. But I never, all my other jobs were waitresses. You don't, you walk in and you say, "I'm flying for a job. I'm a waitress." They say, "Can you be here in the morning?" I say, "Yeah." They say, "Sign here." It's not a big interview process, and I never did anything where I was online with, So for you guys are the only ones I ever really did any call conferencing with. So
It's a whole nother world of.
I'm sure it is. So I can't think. There might have been stories, but I can't remember what they were at the moment. So
yeah, there's got to have been some waitressing stories.
You know what? I'm sure there was. There certainly was. There, but I can't think of them right offhand. But
I tended bar for about 5 years, and I loved bartending. I thought it was fun, but I actually had a guy walk into the bar one night and dump a rattlesnake on the floor.
Oh,
he was from a mean family, and he thought it was funny. He didn't have all of his, marbles, and he walked in. He had this rattlesnake in a big jar. And he walked out and dumped it under this guy's bar stool. And this guy was up on the bar, and I'm hollering at him, "Get that damn snake out of the bar." It took him a little while, but he finally caught the snake again, put it back in the jar, and left with the rattlesnake. And, and I told him, "Don't you ever come back here again." And I don't know if they were able to keep him out or not, but he dumped a rattlesnake on the floor of the bar.
That's got to be breaking some kind of.
I don't think I could top that.
Well, that could only happen in a cowboy bar.
Yes.
I went out on the internet and I was just looking around at I Googled crappy jobs.
Okay.
And what I got was a picture of this woman with her face in a fat man's armpit.
Oh.
And she's the tester that has to determine if the deodorant works.
Oh.
Who wants that job?
I don't think you could pay me enough to do that.
No, there was that kind of a job.
Well, when you think about it, who determines if the deodorant works?
Well, I would just assume. I don't know. I never thought about it.
Never got that far ahead.
Somebody's testing it, and this woman had her nose right in this fat guy's armpit. And I'm thinking, oh, ick. And, and
that's got to be one of the worst jobs.
there's some bad ones out there. You know, you think about the products that are on our shelves in the grocery store or in the sporting goods store. Have you ever wondered where mountain lion urine comes from? Or deep urine?
I had assumed mountain lions or
Well, but how did they get it in the bottle? You know, I found this thing out on the internet that said there's these guys that they call urine farmers.
Ew.
And that's what they do. They have animals in enclosures that have grates in the floor and the urine goes down through and they have to collect it.
And this is for what purpose? For like hunters?
Yeah.
What do they use it for?
Yeah. You know, and these guys can pull in about $80K a year.
Hey, well, you know what? Maybe we can get us.
Danny? No.
What?
No.
You guys never want to go along with my ideas. All right.
We never want to do anything fun.
I know. You never want to try anything new.
Party poopers, Casey. Well, do you guys ever watch Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe? Have you guys ever seen that show?
What?
Jobs?
Yeah, have you ever seen the show Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe?
No.
It's hilarious. He goes out and the dirtiest jobs in America or whatever, and he does them. He takes a day and whatever. Well, one of them is where they're doing the animal husbandry for bulls and stuff like that, so they have to collect the sperm. So they actually get, and he did it. They give you this receptacle or whatever, and you get the, bull in there, and, you have to pop it on, and he does his stuff, and,
What if he does the wrong stuff?
What's the what?
What if he does the wrong stuff?
Well, just think about the person who has to go insert it then,
I always feel sorry for my vet when he has to check a cow or a horse, I feel bad for him when he starts rolling on that plastic glove.
Snap. There's some bad jobs out there.
I'll tell you, I had a vet out one time because one of my horses was colicking. And he pulled out this glove and he started rolling it on. And my grandson, Tyler, was about 13 at the time. And he's standing there watching him and his eyes are getting big. And he's like, what's he going to do? He looked at me and said, what's he going to do with that? I said, watch. That vet stuck his arm into that horse up to the elbow. Tyler was going to die. He's just like, whoa.
You're like, you're next, Tyler. Like, wow.
Don't ever colic.
He's like, I don't know what it is, but I'm never doing it. That's funny.
Oh, gosh. Have you ever thought about crime scene cleanup?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, think about it. And there's all kinds of crime scenes. There's murder, there's theft, there's sex crimes, there's you name it. Who cleans that shit up?
Somebody would have to.
Yeah. I don't wanna. I saw that and I thought, oh, yeah, that's one I don't want.
Yeah.
Well, so far you haven't found anything that I want. You haven't named anything that I would like to do.
Bartender.
Bartender would be okay.
Yeah, no rattlesnake, but the bartender would be fun.
It is fun. It's like working with a giant chastity belt. It's a lot of fun.
You know what? A job that I think would be horrible is cleaning out septic tanks and those porta potties and.
You know, I found an article on porta potty cleaners. They can make about 50 grand a year.
Ugh.
But one of the hazards of the job is that sometimes the hose plugs up.
Oh.
And it sprays everywhere. I have a series that I'm working on that I wanted to work in a scene where she has a car accident with a truck hauling porta potties. And, you know, I somehow I will figure out how to work that in.
Not a job I want.
No. But it'd be funny to read about, don't you think?
Oh, it would be great in one of your stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Oh, you'd make it funny anyway. You could take a boring thing and make it funny, Kayce.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but I'm hoping I can do that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
and
I have a say that again?
And sewer inspector.
Ew.
Who walks around down there? Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I don't even like going near a manhole cover, you know. And you know somebody's climbing down in there.
Oh, yeah.
Walking around, checking stuff, dodging stuff.
Those people who clean out the grease traps at like McDonald's and whatever. We used to have a guy when I worked at the movie theater that would come in and he'd get down in there and, you know, like shovel stuff. Ew. It was
I bet his
nasty.
wife loved having him come home at night.
Ugh.
He'd go home smelling like rancid French fries.
And that smell is nasty.
No, it is nasty. I ain't wanting to sleep with it. Just saying.
Pretty much.
And for those of us over 40 who have now reached that age where we have to have the dreaded colonoscopy,
Yep.
how about a gastroenterologist?
Ew.
How would you like to be that guy or gal? The view's the same every day.
Yep. Bird's eye view.
Yeah, you know, it's like the old saying, if you're not the lead dog, the view's always the same.
Yeah.
You know, it applies to that job. I don't want it.
Like a proctologist, you know?
Yeah.
They always...
I'd rather work on feet. You know, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I'll be
like my gynecologist. I always asked him, I'm like, why would you? Because after
when
you
you were 12, are you dreaming of, I want to be a gynecologist? You know, who puts that on their dream board? I mean, there's a lot of guys that joke about it.
But if they had to see, you know, 30 of those a day, every day, it'd be like, ugh.
Maybe that's, never mind.
Well,
that wasn't going to end well.
going to end well. Well, I laughed because Darian was telling somebody, one of his friends, he was like talking about that job, and he's like, how would you like to look at toothless old men every day? And he's like, what? He's like, look at what those look like. He looks like toothless old men. He's kind of got a
wow. It's going to be hard to show it off now.
Ta-da!
Danny's going, no, let me out of here. They're out of control.
Girls are always out of control. It doesn't take much to get you guys out of control.
Okay, well, I have a story that's a little less funny than that one.
Go for it.
But at the time, I thought it was hilarious. So I was a house manager at a large theater chain, and we were interviewing for another manager, like just an assistant manager. And so, you know, you have people come in and usually the other managers are there to interview with you other than our main manager who didn't like to do anything. So it was the other assistant managers and me. And so, you know, you go through all the normal interview questions, and one of the assistant managers decided that he wanted to ask some fun, you know, those interview questions that everybody rolls their eyes. So
Yeah.
he was like, so
nobody likes to be asked.
Right. So he asked, he's like, well, what do you think is your worst habit on the job? That was the question. And I was thinking, well, crap, I wouldn't want to say that. You know, nobody wants to answer those in an interview. So she
we gotta get you fired.
I know, exactly. So she looks like a deer in the headlights. You know, she's trying to think fast. Well, what the hell do I say? So I think she just kind of got, you know, like, oh crap, I'm taking too long. So she blurted out the first thing she thought of, which was, I snore.
Oh, that's so not good.
I know.
That is so not good.
So we all start dying laughing. And so he looks at her and he goes, so your worst habit on the job is that you snore? And she goes, oh God, I'm not a prostitute, which makes us laugh even harder. And then she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So, I'm like crying. I'm laughing so hard.
She went from snoring to prostitute. Wow.
It was the on the job thing. She thought that we had jumped to that conclusion. I'm like, no, we were just still laughing about the on the job.
We were just thinking you were sleeping on the job.
Exactly. Well,
on the job.
I know. She thought we had gone way farther than that. So
well, she must know you guys.
Good point.
Bring her in. We have an open seat. She probably fit right in.
Oh. Well, anyway, she interviewed well in every other way. She ended up getting hired. And when I actually quit that job, she was getting her own theater, and I was giving her crap about that.
Okay, you know, I lost track of the part that this was a job interview. That's twice as funny.
Yeah, we were interviewing her for an assistant manager position. And so it was me and the other assistant managers, because I was the house manager, interviewing her. And it was one of the assistants who had asked her, what's your worst habit on the job? And that went.
How you never admit something like that. But you hired her anyway.
Because all the rest of her stuff was good, and I was like, you know what? I could see myself saying something that stupid. See, you guys could see me saying something that stupid too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what do you guys got?
I desperately need a new computer. This is a new computer, and I already need a new computer. Yes. I was out there trying to research, and I can't get any response at all. Everything's just like all hung up. It's making me crazy.
Oh, that's a
well, that's what took me so long to get on. Mine kept doing stupid things too.
So I've got more if you're running slow.
Yeah, we're slow. Go ahead.
Go for it, girl.
Okay. So I went to the internet for a couple of these too, and apparently there's this candidate who starts talking, you know, when he's answering the person interviewing him, and he keeps saying, "Oh baby, well pretty girl," you know, all of those kind of things. And so she finally has to tell him that is inappropriate, and he gets all butthurt because he was just trying to be nice. Baby. That's a sexual harassment suit waiting to happen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and rightly so.
He needs a class on how not to interview.
Some people are just too stupid to live.
Yes.
No, maybe they should not be employed.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh, okay. This is another one off the internet, and I hope this was a joke. I seriously hope it was a joke. So this lady said she was interviewing this guy in their little conference room or whatever, and so she was frustrated, I guess, and so she was like, okay, I need to go, get a drink of water. I'll be right back. So she comes back in the room a couple minutes later, and he's gone, but there's this funny smell in the room. And she's like, what is that? He pooped in the potted plant, apparently realizing he was not going to get this job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I found that on the internet, and I really hope it was a joke or exaggerated, but I can see some people doing that.
Wow.
Really?
And he wonders why they didn't find him impressive?
Yeah. Can you imagine watching the security footage on that one? Like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just frightening what some people will do.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw one on the internet too. The lady was interviewing this girl, and the interview was going really well to the girl, and then she asked her, because she was looking at her name, and she asked her, do you know her? Are you related to so-and-so? And gives the name of a girl. And she says, oh, yes, she's my sister. She says, do you know her? And she said, yeah, she's been running around with my husband. We will call you. There's a job.
Oh, wow.
And showed her the door.
Wow.
Now, that was on the internet, too.
Well, I found a couple more here. And my very favorite is a professional snuggler.
Ooh.
Apparently, they get about $60 an hour.
Damn.
Just to snuggle. Apparently, they get a lot of flack for being a front for prostitution, but I can do snuggle.
I can snuggle.
For $60 an hour, I can snuggle.
They charge extra for the other stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't think I could snuggle with a stranger, though. I don't know.
If it was Gerard Butler, I would snuggle for free.
Well, he doesn't need to pay somebody to snuggle.
Well, hell, I'd pay him. But my luck, I'd get, I don't know, Danny DeVito. Although he'd be funny.
He'd be funny.
Yeah. There's also something out there called a wrinkle chaser.
A what?
A wrinkle chaser, and it's not me. They apparently iron wrinkles out of shoes with blow dryers and irons.
Oh, wow.
Out of shoes?
A wrinkle chaser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of shoes?
Wrinkles.
So now who hires them to do that?
I'm looking at my shoes. I don't think they have wrinkles.
Where do you apply for that job?
Yeah. And then there's the guys that dive for golf balls. Somebody's got to get them.
Yeah.
If you don't clean it up, you got a pond full of golf balls. So I didn't get far enough to find out what they do with them once they get them out, but they make decent money diving for golf balls. What have you been doing, honey? I've been diving for balls all day.
So how was work? About the same.
About the same. Just one ball after another. Oh, and who gets to clean the screen at an IMAX movie theater?
Ugh. They do have professional people that come in and do that.
They do.
Like the gum and all that.
Well, I am just learning so much today. I had no idea there were so many job opportunities out there that I was aware of.
We thought we were limited to secretaries and nurses.
I had no idea.
And furniture tester. I dated.
You know, like a chair, like you sit in it to make sure it doesn't collapse.
Yeah, I dated that guy.
Oh, wow.
You know,
what does that involve?
Chair all day long. Yeah, furniture tester. They have professional furniture testers because apparently equipment can pound on the furniture, but it can't give feedback. So you still need people for that.
So you need somebody that's going to be hard on your furniture. Why don't they just hire teenagers?
That's right. I got a few. Pay them, saves me gas money. You betcha.
Oh, Hal Darian would do that in a second if they paid him well.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I just ran across another one.
Uh-oh. I thought she was laughing about Darian being a furniture tester.
I think she's looking on her screen at the same time.
Sex toy companies hire people to test their products.
That's like Britt's story.
Huh? Yeah.
That's like Britt's story.
Yeah. But apparently one of the questions is if you are a chronic masturbator.
You're like, what defines chronic?
I got to go back and look and see how much they make.
Oh, wow.
39K a year from testing sex toys.
Damn.
Okay, I'm done. You're right. Britt did have that story where it was she was a vagina model.
Yes.
Then there was the one where she was washing her sex toys in the dishwasher.
Yes.
And it broke, and she had to call the repairman.
Britt had a lot of those stories.
Before he got there. Yeah.
Wonder if that was one of Britt's jobs, because she had a lot of stories like that.
She did. And what she didn't know, she'd make up.
Yeah. Or she'd go ask people blatantly.
Yeah. Well, they also have pet food testers.
Ugh.
Where people test pet food. They eat it.
Oh, they don't eat it themselves.
They do. They do. Let me see what they make.
Gotta taste it.
They make $40,000 a year.
Damn. So they make more than the sex toy testers.
That's true. But they don't have as much fun.
See, Casey, you wasted all that time in corporate America.
Oh, my God. Let's hope nobody I know from corporate America sees this.
That's funny.
Oh, God. Yeah, dog food testers. As a kid, I honestly can remember eating dog food. Dry dog
me
food.
too.
I can see the bowl in front of me in my mind. And, it was good stuff. I can remember what it tastes like. Because I loved it. They had a tough time keeping me out of it.
Oh, that's just crazy. Well, Katie used to like to, the biscuits.
Yeah.
Like the milk treats or whatever they were. He would always sneak those, and when he would get behind the chair in the family room, I would know he was up to something, and he'd be back there gnawing on my, when he was, toddler.
But can you imagine having to taste the wet food?
Yeah.
Oh, the cat food. That would be really bad.
That stuff is nasty. I don't know how they eat it, but then they lick their butts. So.
I can't hardly even take the lid off of it. It smells so bad.
Oh, I know it.
Yours get dry.
thinking about, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm going to tell a story on my grandson, and he'll love it when I send him the link to this and tell him to watch his story being told on the internet. But he was about 3, and we were working out in the horse pen, and I had a big piece of plywood leaned up against the fence. And all of a sudden, he got real quiet. And, you know, when he gets quiet, that's not a good thing. So I told him, I said, Justin, what? I said, where are you? I'm here. Where's here? Over here. I said, come out where Grandma can see you. I'm okay. I said, come out where Grandma can see you. Finally, he steps out from behind this piece of plywood, and he's got his hands behind his back, and his mouth is just filthy. Filthy. It looks like he's been eating mud pies. And I looked at him, I said, honey, what do you have in your hand? Nothing. I said, you got something in your hand behind your back, honey. What do you have in your hand? Nothing. I said, let Grandma see. What have you been eating? Nothing. I said, let me see. He pulled his hands out, and he's holding them in front of him, and he doesn't want to open them. I said, open the hand. Let Grandma see what you've got in your hand. And he pulls his hand out, and he opens it up, and he goes, cookie? It was a piece of horse poop. He'd been hiding behind the plywood eating cookies. You should have seen the look on my son's face when I told him that story.
No wonder he hates that story. He's now, what, in his 20s or something like that?
I told the story to his girlfriend at his 16th birthday party.
I have a feeling that story would get told at his wedding.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? Captive audience. I got to get mileage out of this stuff.
That's funny.
So what other crappy jobs are out there? Well, there's the proverbial garbage collector. And, you know, the guys that drive the equipment out there apparently make pretty good money. There's paper sniffers. Paper towel companies have what they call paper sniffers. Do you remember when toilet paper used to come with prints and scents?
Yeah.
I haven't seen pretty toilet paper in years.
Oh, that's right. They did have the free scent. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I once came home drunk, and
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know, it's real shocking. No. And the only thing that drove me home was that my shoe was broke. So I sat down on the toilet in the bathroom with a tube of super glue, and I was going to fix this shoe. So I couldn't get the super glue out of the tube. It had hardened in the tube, you know. Well, I have the patience of, I have none. So I take this tube of super glue, and I bite it with my teeth, and I rip it open from the side. So it seemed like a good idea after, 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah. So super glue shoots into my mouth, and I'm like, and I reach over and I pull off a bunch of toilet paper, and I'm like, oh, and I wound up with little orange flowers glued to my teeth because it was the toilet paper that had little orange flowers on it. And it wouldn't come off. I tried a nail file. I tried everything. I couldn't get the toilet paper off my teeth. So I had to wear it for about a week before it finally peeled off.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, probably a good thing they did away with colored toilet paper. White toilet paper would blend so much better.
It's true. What about waxers?
Ooh.
Those people that do like your bikini wax or men's chests or backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a very good job.
That is not a fun job, I'll bet.
You know, some of those men's backs are really hard to look at, much less touch. Some of them get pretty bad.
Well, I would imagine that some women coming in there to get, Brazilians or whatever, they might be just as bad as the men's backs.
If not worse. Yeah. Yeah. What did you look at today?
See, the gynecologist usually has a better view because they saw the waxer first.
Yeah, but he makes a hell of a lot more money. Oh, yeah. And ear hair, they got to do that too. Ear wax. Y'all know how to feel about ear wax.
Oh, we've heard that story. We've heard that story.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm going to go look and see what other bad jobs I can find.
Okay, I've got another story that's not a bad job, but it's another funny thing that happened on the job.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Well, I reached out to a couple of my friends, and I was like, hey, I need some stories for our Blab. So one of them, who I had worked at corporate America with, she's been there much longer than me, both before and after corporate America. And she said when she was at her last company, before she and I worked together, they had a big video conference room. And I was like, uh-oh, those are dangerous. And so it was kind of one of those where you could set the video conference equipment to come on at a certain time. And I know we had those at my job. And you could log in early from your computer and see what was going on in the video conference room in case you were late or if that's how you were going to get in the meeting.
Oh, that's not good.
I know. So the presenters would be there in real time. So my friend logged in early and just to make sure the room was set up and to see, that everything was good before she went and did the presentation for this conference call. So she logs in at her desk because she's still on a call, and she sees one of the people on her team, this very attractive girl, standing in there topless, pinching her stuff. And
wow,
she's kind of doing this, and so she's like runs in there to tell this girl stop because the business partners can log in at any time. Anybody can. And so the girl is like embarrassed and okay, no problem. But then the friend says that she talked to her Australian business partner later that day about something, and he was like, oh, by the way. So apparently that girl was in there for quite a bit longer, and she was doing quite a bit more than just that. She had apparently just lifted the skirt and gone after. And he got a full on preview. Well, she thought that you actually had to turn on the whole system and that she would see like a light or something on this camera when it was.
She wasn't
didn't
worried
realize.
Open the door.
I know. Apparently, she was not the brightest crayon in the box.
Was she employed after that?
No.
Yeah. Shocker.
Yes. He was fired, and
silicone and you get porn.
She tried to sue the company for wrongful termination. Now that's ballsy right there.
Okay, there's another crappy job, the judge on that case.
Yes.
Seriously? What were you thinking? Oh my gosh. I want to see that one on Judge Judy. She'd have fun with it, wouldn't she?
Oh, she would. She'd be like, you, bimbo. Get here.
And the guy that watches her court for her, he'd be laughing. Oh, my God. I can just see the look on her face.
Like, checking my list here to see what else I got.
We've got Alex Daily TV, who's signed in the sidebar, and he wants to know, can you define love, and at what point did you start loving yourself?
Yeah, I saw that. I
A
don't
lot like our last story.
I'm a little worried. Alex, we don't know how to answer that.
I don't know.
Too many possible answers, so many little,
So little time. So many answers.
funny.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I have another one from the internet. Not quite as funny as the other ones, but this guy apparently showed up for a job interview, and he brought donuts, thinking that would get him in. So they're doing the job interview and that kind of stuff, and they get to the part about, why do you want this job? And he said, well, I want to get in good and meet all the clients here because I'm going to be starting my own business in 6 months, and I'm going to be so good that they're all going to leave you and come with me.
There's a way to get a job.
Yeah.
Not.
He thought he would get brownie points for being honest.
He's too stupid to hire.
He's too stupid to live at that point.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yes.
Definitely an idiot.
Yes.
Wow.
Looking at this, let's see.
Well, do we have anything that needs to be promoted this week?
Nobody sent me anything.
No? Okay.
Not that I know of.
I have an ad coming out next month in the Wrangler newspaper, which is a subscription paper that publishes rodeo stamps. So I'm kind of excited to see how that comes out.
Yeah.
That's working on that for me. So that should be fun. And then I've got hopefully One Dog Too Many coming out in January. And then we've got the Butterscotch Martini Girls Butterscotch Shots, a box set coming out in February. And that's Penny's dogs. I saw her eyes. And I heard her think, damn dogs.
Well, you know I don't have any dogs. We have cats. So.
No, that's fine. I don't know if they think they see, but sitting at the top of the stairs looking out the window.
Well, you know, I got a new dog. And the other day I had to take the two boy dogs to the vet because one of them was getting neutered and the other one was getting shots. So the female dog had to stay home. And she was really pissed off that I took the boys and left her behind. So she chewed a grapefruit-size hole in my patio couch.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's got this new thing that she does. I pay people to stack all that wood from that big tree that came down in my backyard. She goes and takes the wood off the wood pile and brings it up in the yard so she can play with it. So now I'm going to have to pay somebody to stack it again. So she's a challenge.
What kind of dogs did you get this time?
This one is a German Shepherd cross. I don't know what she's crossed with. And the other one, the male, is a Dachshund Labrador cross. And, yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
He's long like a Dachshund. He's a little bit taller than a Dachshund, but short. And he's got one ear that goes up and one ear that kind of goes like this.
I'm just trying to picture the two parents and how that. I'm trying to picture the two parents and how that went together.
It's quite funny. It really is quite funny. I can't wait to see him when he's fully grown. He's only 6 months old, and he's ridiculous now. And he howled in the back seat all the way to the vet because he was stuck in the back seat and couldn't be in the front seat driving with me. So when I got him to the vet, I left him and they said, well, pick him up about 2:30 or 3. I said, okay. They called me at 1 o'clock and they said, he's ready to go. I said, well, I'm eating lunch. I said, it'll be a little while before I can get there. She said, oh, well, whenever you're ready. You know, she's being very polite. I walk in and I can hear him in the back. He sounds like a loud squeak toy. He's horrible. And I hear him back there. Bah, bah. And so I said to the gal, I said, I'm here to get Riley. And she said, who's Riley? And I said, him. At the same time that the girl behind her said, the barker. They were pretty happy to get rid of Riley.
They were like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, thank God, take him out of here.
That's funny.
So then he howled all the way home because he couldn't ride in the front seat with me. Yeah, those are my new dogs.
Oh, I found one funny thing said at a job interview before we walk out that you guys have to hear. So it was, if I get offered this job, how long before I have to take the drug test? So he was trying to plan things.
Palm slap. Wow. You got to plan those nights out.
That's right. He's a planner, though. Does that count in his favor? He's a planner.
Yeah, but not a good one.
True. And he's not too bright.
Well, that's it for today. I guess we got nothing else to promote. And
next week, our topic is funniest and worst tattoo stories.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun to research. Okay.
Oh yeah,
we'll have to get some pictures to show.
If I have no tattoos, we'll have to research that.
Yeah, fun. Okay, so funniest tattoo stories next week. All right. Well, we are the Butterscotch Martini Girls. Look for our books online at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, wherever books are sold online. And have a good week. We'll be back next week, same bat channel, same back time. Bye.
Bye.